Josh, can you check the router? It seems like the internet's down. Josh, what are you doing over there?
It's another explosive episode of an Now Our Feature presentation where we don't just love 80s and 90s movies, we live them.
I'm Carey Williams. I'm the bomb.
And I'm Josh Sanchez. I'm the bomb diffuser. An expert in diffusing bombs with a troubled past must find and stop his old foe who is coming for everyone he loves. This next movie is Blown Away!
Blown Away was released July 1st, 1994 with a budget of $28 million. It earned $10.4 million in its opening weekend and went on to gross $52.7 million worldwide.
It's amazing. Stephen Hopkins, who agreed to do the film after completing Judgment Night, told his agent, "I don't want to make a movie about a bomb squad." But he insisted, which he very rarely does. So I read it and thought it was terrific. 48 hours later, the deal was done. Bang.
Filming was scheduled to start August 24th, 1993 in Massachusetts. At the time, it was the highest budgeted movie ever made in the state. The Boston Bomb Squad acted as consultants.
This is just crazy, this next part. I love this. The filming of the climatic ship explosion caused shockwaves so powerful that 8,000 windows were shattered in the East Boston area. That is just
spiraled the budget out of control a little bit there.
The film has been widely criticized for its portrayals of Irish accents by American actors, with the accent of Tommy Lee Jones' character being described by one publication as above and beyond the worst Northern Irish accent you are ever likely to hear.
I love it.
I love it. We love it. We love a bad accent.
We love a bad accent.
Oh, man. Cadillac, man. Go ahead.
Lloyd Catlett, who plays Bama, is Jeff Bridges' stand-in and stunt double in this film and several other films.
And Jeff Bridges turned down the lead role in the movie of Speed. That's just mind-blowing to do this film. That was also a Mad Bomber movie released in the same year as this film, of course. That's amazing.
Although they are really father and son, Lloyd Bridges and Jeff Bridges are cast as uncle and nephew in the movie.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And this next list of actors were all considered to play the role of Jimmy Dove. This is an extensive list. Kevin Bacon, Alec Baldwin, Michael Biehn, Bruce Campbell, Kevin Costner, Michael Douglas, Richard Dreyfuss, Harrison Ford, Richard Gere, Mel Gibson, Michael Keaton, Christopher Lambert, Viggo Mortensen, Chuck Norris, Dennis Quaid, Mickey Rourke, Kurt Russell, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Selleck, Sylvester Stallone, Patrick Swayze, and Bruce Willis.
It's a long list.
That's insane.
They should have just said who wasn't entertained.
The soundtrack, of course. Let's talk about this.
The soundtrack has multiple songs by U2. It has With or Without You and Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. It also has You'll Lose a Good Thing performed by Aretha Franklin. It has Return to Me performed by October Project. And Pop Goes the Weasel hummed by Tommy Lee Jones.
And of course, it also has Darling Today, performed by the Jayhawks. Tuesday Morning, performed by the Pogues. Nation Once Again, performed by the Wolf Tones. In the Morning, performed by Big Head Todd and the Monsters. Amazing Grace, sung by Evelyn Lee. And of course, still the Minstrel Boys, sung by Patrons at the Irish Pug.
A Nation Once Again, performed by Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones. Take Me Home, performed by Joe Cocker and Becca Bramlett. All Night Long, performed by Aretha Franklin, and Here's Where the Story Ends, performed by the Sundays.
And of course, we have to talk about the cast. First and foremost, Jeff Bridges. He is in Tron, The Last Unicorn, Starman, Tucker the Man in His Dream, The Fisher King, The Vanishing, and The Big Lebowski. And the next big name is
Tommy Lee Jones. He's Ryan Garrity. He's also in The Coal Miner's Daughter, JFK, Under Siege, The Fugitive, The Client, Natural Born Killers, Cobb, Batman Forever, Volcano, Men in Black, U.S. Marshals, Small Soldiers, and Double Jeopardy.
We have Susie Amos, who plays Kate, is in Fandango, Plain Clothes, The Usual Suspects, and Titanic.
We have the wonderful Lloyd Bridges as Max O'Bannon. He's in
Airplane.
Airplane 2. Tucker, the Man in His Dream. Joe versus the Volcano. Hot Shots. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Hot Shots Part 2. And Mafia.
And we have the wonderful Forrest Whitaker, who plays Officer Anthony Franklin in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, The Color of Money, Platoon, Stakeout, Good Morning Vietnam, Bloodsport, The Crying Game, Body Snatchers, Species, Mr. Holland's Opus, Phenomenon, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. And of course we have next
Steffi Lindbergh as Lizzie. She's also in Richie Rich and City by the Sea.
And then we have John Finn, who plays Captain Rourke, seen here, who is in Glory, Loose Cannons, Cliffhanger, The Pelican Brief, Carlito's Way, Trojan War, and True Crimes.
We have Caitlin Clark as Officer Rita. She's in Dragon Slayer, Crocodile Dundee, and The Big Picture.
And let's talk about some of the cameos. Of course, Cuba Gooding Jr., who appears as a member of the Bomb Squad class, seen right there. And then, of course,
Mike Starr, who portrays Francis, the barkeeper.
Buddha the Clown.
Buddha the Clown.
Now let's talk about the press kit.
Just got to be careful here.
Oh, man, don't let go of that.
Have an awesome cover on this one.
Oh, it's
Love
so
the
good.
covers.
So good. So good.
We got a little booklet first. We have Bomb Squads, a reality check. And we'll put these up on screen for you. And then we have the booklet that pretty much contains everything in this one about the cast and the production and everything there. Nice little booklet. We have lots of pretty pictures.
Ooh.
Got our little baggie for them.
I like when they come in little baggies.
I do too. Keeps them a little protected.
Makes me feel special.
Yeah, a little bougier compared to some of the press kits. We got a nice one of Jeff Bridges right
Jeff
here.
the man.
We have Tommy Lee Jones as Ryan Garrity, also holding a button that he can't let go of.
Oh man, it's the radio.
This is when Dove confronts him on his little boat hideout that he's set up his bomb-making base in. We have Forrest Whitaker rescuing him.
Oh, they're running from the boat that blows up.
Watch out! There's gonna be a lot of window debris everywhere. We got a three-way picture here with several of the actors.
Very nice, very nice.
Nice. I'm curious to see it. I'm guessing this is a practical effect there. That's a picture of the explosion on the production.
Yeah, this is when the robot
Manfred
gets blown up in the back of the
And this is a 3-panel of the earlier pictures that we have. The standalone of Jeff and
running away and
running
the
away.
Button holding.
Yeah.
Button holding. All right, let's talk about some of the scenes. Of course, the opening sequence with the Irish prison, and Ryan Garrity breaks out of this Irish prison with a homemade toilet bomb.
Toilet bomb.
Heard of toilet wine.
I've heard of people making bombs in toilets.
Not that kind of bomb. Oh my gosh! And of course, the elaborate one-shot gun. It's just ridiculous. And then, of course, the flashbacks of Jimmy back.
They're
in
very
Ireland.
jarring when they happen. It's not happy memories.
Yep. And we jump to the robot at the library.
Oh my goodness.
The girl is typing, and
it's such a cool part.
This is something I remember as a kid watching this. Like anything technical, anything with robots, anything with computers, I just loved. Yes! I soaked it up. And this was all three, and then of course it was the scare of the bomb, and she had to keep typing.
Yes. Love you.
Yes, love you. And then of course, he runs in because he was off duty or something, and he runs in with his bomb vest, and it's like, all right, what's going on? He's like, well, she's in there, she's typing. I was like, what's happening? He's like, well, we sent Manfred in there. You don't send Manfred in there to do this. This robot's not going to do anything. And of course, he goes in and defuses the bomb.
I love where he's trying to get the fingers.
To type, yes.
He's trying to make it to type. He has a secondary keyboard set up, and he's like, okay, we're good, and then it's like, it just mangles its fingers on the keyboard.
So crazy. Of course, and then we flash to where Ryan Garrity is setting up base on an abandoned ship in the there, and then he's got all these Rube Goldberg style bombs that he's making.
I love that he makes them out of toys half the time.
Yes,
it's like a bunch of little Tinker toys that he turns into bombs.
Just shows the ingenuity. And of course, we go to the wedding, and of course, James is getting married. And this is where we introduce Anthony Franklin, the rookie, and he's got the reputation. He's been decorated by the mayor, 2 years on SWAT. It's just, and then this is the scene because he's just basically retired from the bomb squad. He got married. He made the promise, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to retire. And his wife says, are you sure you're just doing this? Are you doing this for you or are you doing this for us? And he says, I'm doing it. And all the beepers go off and they all leave. And of course, they show the bridge with the bomb hanging and then the shotgun, and Blanket uses a shotgun and he ends up getting himself killed, which is an unfortunate thing in the movie. And of course, James recognizes that the bomb was made from scratch because we're at his funeral right thereafter. And of course, it's his uncle, I believe, who says, it's like, why is it a man gets his best party when he dies? That to me, that was a very like
hard-hitting dialogue.
It affected me. I was like, man, that is so true sometimes. And it's like, you see him, James, talking to, I think it's his commanding officer, and he's like, look, this guy is no joke. Like, I tasted the chemicals. This is a homebrew bomb.
Right.
This isn't something that you can just go out and buy. This guy made this bomb.
Yes. Different level.
It's a different level. And so he's now in the police force training bomb disposal guys. So he's not in the field anymore, but he's training. So James Dove he's got a class, and he's trying to humble this new rookie guy.
Love it.
And he's like, all right, he's teaching him about Benson Betty's, and I love that he put one in the floor.
Yes.
And of course,
like, come up here.
He's like, all right, what's the first thing about diffusing a bouncing bay? He's like, don't step on them. And he stepped on it, and it's got a timer. You had 60 seconds, and then of course he walks away and it blows up, and it's paintballs.
Everybody clears the room, and
everyone
he takes it off. And every window's caked in red paint.
And of course we see Garrity, who was dressed in a janitorial uniform, just outside. And it's like, what is he doing in there? Of course, and then of course he's outside. Garrity is out, and he buys a toy and the U2 cassette, and he's like learning about music because he's been in prison for so long.
Right, because he's like, he doesn't even know who they are.
And you see, like, he sees the statue with the arrows at that flea market, and he kind of he's like, wow, this is interesting. So he's like doing montages later with the music, which is an interesting because he sold the tape to him. But then James goes back and he's figuring out the bomb underneath the bridge because he wasn't there. He got the beep. He was with his wife, and he sees the explosion
from their
across
house.
town, and it's like shocking them. But he finally goes to the site, and he realizes, look, this is the position he was in to hide from. He used the bank shot to kill.
He was ricocheting.
Yes, like he was trying.
This is where the person will try to defuse it from.
He was trying. So he's putting it together. Like, this isn't just a guy who knows about bombs. He's out to kill bomb squad members. So he's putting it all together. And of course, the rookie's there with him because he's not supposed to be in the field anymore. He's like doing his own investigation. And then it's one of those. They get their beepers go off, and they go to another location where there's a bomb, and it's in a bus. But they find that it's a false alarm. It's silly putty.
It's a decoy.
It's silly putty. And they're like, it was silly putty. Why'd you guys show up? And he's like, well, let's look at the evidence. And he sees the silly putty, and he turns it over, and he sees that it's the imprint of Manfred on it. And he puts it together. Robot. He puts it together. Oh my gosh, there's a bomb in Manfred, and he's running across the street to where the bus that van is, or that cargo truck, where they're putting Manfred back, and that's when the explosion happens. And of course, that's number 2 of the tragic
targeting bomb squad members.
Yep. And that's when he gets the phone call. Ryan Garrity calls Jimmy Dove, and it's, oh my gosh, and he's talking about his past. He's like, look, the deaths, the fellow bombers, like, he tried to stop them. Of course, Jeff Bridges tried to stop Tommy Lee Jones' character Garrity, and it was 20 years ago, and he was in love with his sister. Is what it was. He was in love with his sister, and he was going to blow up this bomb in a marketplace, and he went to go stop him, and he ends up killing his own sister. And he gets caught, and he goes to jail. So he's telling him there's all this like they're reminiscing. Well, I mean, Garrity's reminiscing.
Right.
James is like, dude, you're crazy, and he wants a new government. He's like, I've come to build a new country for your beloved America, called chaos, a new government called anarchy. And then when he hangs up, you realize that Garrity is in his house. He's in James's house. So he is trying furiously to weave in and out of traffic to get home, and that's when his wife and daughter get home. And it's like, this is
Like,
how,
what has this guy done in the house?
Yes, we don't know. This guy was in the house. We don't know what he's done.
Because he does some wild stuff where
we know that he's an expert bomb maker. And so the way the movie was done is the suspense in this part of the movie is just brilliant. Because the two come in and they're like, where's Boomer? So they're looking for the dog, because normally the dog's barking, it's outside. He must have jumped the fence again. So they come in, and as they enter the kitchen, it's like they're alluding that everything could be a bomb. She goes over to the fridge and opens the fridge, and it's like the inside of the fridge.
Trigger loud noises.
And it's like the fridge opens and the light bulb, and it's like, oh my gosh, could that be the bomb? And then it's like she goes into the pantry, and there's a hanging light, and she reaches for the light, the pull cord.
It exaggerates the loudness of every sound effect.
And she's reaching for it, and she kind of misses it a couple times, and she finally pulls it, and the light comes on, but nothing happens. And of course, they cut back to James, and he's furiously driving down the street trying to get to them. And of course, the phone cord. She goes to the phone is unhooked.
Hyper close up.
She goes to get the cord and plugs it in, but nothing happens.
It even shows the spark of electricity.
Yes. And then she goes to the burner in the stove.
Click,
click, and nothing happens in the oven. And then as all this is happening,
the flame
James
just makes such a loud noise.
Comes rushing in. We got to get out of here. Where's Boomer? We think he jumped the fence again. And then of course, it immediately cuts to the house is being searched by the bomb squad. And they're like, we didn't find anything. And he goes to the girl's closet, Lizzie's closet, and that's when we find out that
what a monster to hang it in the child's closet, especially.
It is very heart-rending.
Yes.
To see, like, they don't show a lot, but it's like
you understand it's the dog.
Yes,
you see it hanging in the closet.
His dog has been killed, and he's burying out. The next scene is he's burying the dog outside, and he spills the beans to his wife. He says, "Look, I was in love with his sister. This was 20 years ago. This guy, I'm not who I say I am." And it's...
Can you imagine having a spouse tell you that after years and years?
Kate is like shocked. She's like, I need to get out of here. And he's like, all right. She leaves. But he goes and talks to his uncle. And he's telling him, look, this is Garrity. And he's like, are you sure? He's like, this is Garrity. He's talking to his uncle because he's fishing. And he says, well, what are you going to do about it? He's like, I need to tell the rest of the bomb squad members. And he's like, if you tell the rest of your team, you will end up behind bars, and they need you to get to him.
They need you to not be in jail. Yes, they need you to help stop this man.
And so he's like, all right, so I need to go figure out how I'm going to do this. He's like, you can't, it's going to be a mistake. He's like, I need to go tell him. The next scene they show is he is at the station. Like, look, I have this picture. It's this guy named Garrity. And they're like, where'd you get this information from? I got it from Interpol. And the rookie, Franklin, he's starting to get a little suspicious. He's like, I don't know. And then, of course, this is something that's kind of benign in the story, but we later on like realize, oh wow, this is really crazy. While they're having this whole interaction there at the thing where he shows the photo, it's Garrity, got it from Interpol. Bama, one of the other bomb squad members, gets a call. He's like, hey, Bama, it's Connie. And he's like, he gets the phone. He's like, I don't believe in that astrology crap, whatever. That's what he says. That's all he says. And then, of course, they show the montage of Garrity back at the Dolphin, the boat that he set up shop at. And the montage of him dancing and making bombs to the music.
It's a wild scene, too.
It is so wild.
Because there's like almost a lightheartedness to it.
He's very jovial and almost celebratory while he's doing this. It's just like he's just having fun with it. And that's what like the contrast of like this.
It's not tense to him at all.
This is a crazy person.
It's a game to him.
It's a game to him. It's exactly what he is. And then we cut to Officer Franklin, and he's of course he's doing his exercises. He's running up and down, and there's still the music playing. But at the top of the steps, of course, Garrity is there. But they don't recognize him because he looks different. So but he's up there, and he sees Franklin kind of doing his running routine, and that kind of gives you the hint that he's the next target. And of course, Franklin goes home, and when he's at home, he loves to listen to jazz. So he has got jazz music playing, but he lives in an apartment complex. So he puts his headphones on, and when he puts the headphones on, he hears what he thinks is a trigger. And this scene messed me up as a teen.
It's a wild scene.
It is. He puts the headphones on, and of course, the headphones have explosives in them. And so I never wanted to listen to music with headphones for a very long time and of course, like, who wants to come and get me? Like, I'm not in the bomb squad. So that rationality finally kicked in. I'm like, there's no bombs in my headphones. But he puts the headphones on, and he realizes there's a bomb in his headphones. And who does he call? He calls, of course,
Jimmy Dove.
He calls Jimmy. And I love this because he's yelling and
he's got headphones on, so everything
he's
says
using
extremely
his foot.
loud.
He uses his foot to get to the phone, and he's yelling. And Jimmy immediately realizes he's in trouble. This isn't normal. So he goes, and the rest of the bomb squad come too. And there's like a little bit of a back and forth. Why did you leave SWAT? Is what he says. And then, of course, Franklin is like, it wasn't danger enough. It's like, so why? So that's why you joined Disposal. And his response, well, everyone loves a hero, and I'm a hero. And, of course, Jimmy's response, like, you know what happens to heroes in this outfit? They get blown away. And I love that they put the title of the movie.
They rarely do that. And a lot of times when they do it, it's almost cheesy, but that's a good
That was a very good insert of the title of the movie into the dialogue. And, of course, they find out that there's 2 bombs, one in the headphone and one in the speaker. And this is where, because Bama is there and Bama's scared, and they can sense that he's scared. Jimmy senses that he's scared, and he's like, hey, man, we only, like, you're going to cut this wire. And he's like, I'm scared to cut the wire because of the horoscope my wife just read to me. And this is the benign conversation earlier at the station, and he's like, I think he says, like, goddamn woofer. And he's like, what do you mean? Connie read to me my horoscope and said, beware of big dogs. And he points to the speaker, woofer, and he's like, Jimmy's like, you don't need to be in here. It just needs 2 people. There's me and the guy who's got the bomb in it. He's a bomb squad member. Leave. Have him cut the wire. So that's what he does. He leaves. He gives the cutters to Anthony Franklin, and he asks him, are you scared? And his response, because he's been this like rookie, like, yeah, I'm good, I'm the bomb, right. Like I'm this like hot shot dude. He asks him point blank, James, are you scared? And his response, shitless.
Yes.
Because he's in it now.
And Forrest Whitaker's expressions,
oh my gosh,
he's sweating,
oh my gosh,
the tension that he exudes, you feel that.
Yes, yes.
But what I find funny too during that scene is how they're all trying to be calm and quiet around it. Every time he speaks because of the headphones, it's really loud and jarring.
And he realizes that it's not connected to the volume, so he turns the volume off. And so it's something else. So he cuts the thing, and it's on one, they cut the wires, and of course we cut to the beach sequence where Lizzie and Kate are away because he told them to go away, and Garrity is there. And this whole sequence, because we know that Garrity is a madman. He's this jovial madman. Yes. And I remember
he's having fun when he does this stuff.
Even watching this recently, knowing that nothing was gonna happen there, I was still was still a little tense because like he's there and the kite gets tangled up and he pulls out the knife, and it's wonderful film. It's wonderful filmmaking because of the tenseness of how he's portraying the items and the music and just the way it's shot. He pulls out this knife, and you think he's gonna do something to the girl, but he's untangling. He's cutting. He's like, I gotta cut the rope to untangle the thing.
And he's manipulative.
Yes.
Because I feel like he's doing the things the way he does it to gain her trust.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm vulnerable. Look, oh no, I hurt myself. I need, he's damsel in distress kind of thing.
He's diffusing the situation so they trust him a little more, so that he can kind of like get closer.
Knife's not scary. I'm just trying to cut your. Oh, I cut my hand.
Yes, and so there's the whole thing with he's got the crabs. There's a bag there, and she goes to he's leaving to go to a party, and the girl Lizzie goes to get the bag, and of course Kate's like, no, don't do that, and he runs back, no, don't touch that, and you think there's gonna be
something bad in there,
and he's like, oh no, and he pulls out crabs, and he's doing this little dance thing, and they're laughing, of course, and it's just wonderful filmmaking, of course, and of course as he's walking away, Garrity, he walks past the Jeep.
Mm-hmm. And it's always that foreshadowing.
The hood has these hooks on it. There was one that was undone, and he hooks it, and he taps the hood, and he kind of smiles and walks away, and it's like, oh God, he did something to the Jeep. And
There's always that foreshadowing.
It's so crazy. And of course, we cut to the uncle. He's at a ball game, and this is how he's getting information. He's trying to figure out where Garrity is. And Garrity has sent them a video to the bomb squad.
It's a wild
video. And they're trying to piece together what's going on because it's very vague what's going on.
He's wearing a skull mask.
He's wearing a skull mask, and there's like, we're going to kill you, Liam.
Doesn't he change the Statue of Liberty mask at some point?
It's very out there.
And he's being wild. He's like got puppets.
Yeah, it's very insane. And so they notice that there's a foghorn on there. And so they're like, well, this is filmed it's got to be by water. It's a foghorn. So they go to the boat. And it's the dolphin, and it's him, James, and Franklin. They're at the dolphin, but the uncle goes to meet Garrity, not to meet him, but he goes to to the pub where Garrity frequents.
He sits with him.
Yeah, and he sits with him, trying to get information from him and trying to figure out where he's maybe building his bombs or something.
They're chumming up his fellow Irishmen,
and of course Garrity is not having it and takes him hostage. And then, of course,
what's crazy is Max calls Jimmy.
Yes, he's like, I found him.
As soon as he comes in after him,
he's abducted, and of course, Jimmy goes to find him, and he leaves a clue for him. It's the arrows on the statue.
Man, that makes my stomach sink when it gets to that scene, because when he shows up, and he's strapped to
like a merry-go-round.
Yes,
and he's got like basically that.
But he's also got arrows.
He's basically dressed up.
He's mimicking the statue.
Mimicking the statue, and of course James goes to defuse the bomb, and Garrity's in the building watching him the whole time. And James is like, I got to go get my stuff, and the uncle is like, I need you to. Basically, he makes a decision for him. I need you to be alive, so I'm gonna blow myself up.
And the thing that I always thought about this part is like the marble wasn't gonna move till he made it move.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a good likeliness that Jimmy could have diffused it, but Max was so concerned for Jimmy's safety, he sacrifices himself.
Yep. And of course, this is James he goes into a very rough time right here. He loses himself. He gets wasted. But then he regains his composure, and he basically goes back to the site where his uncle died, and he finds the marble, and it's the marble of the dolphin. And that's when he's like, we were there, we were at that boat, we were investigating it. And he goes to confront Garrity, and this is a very long, drawn out sequence here where they kind of battle back and forth. And this is a sequence that I love because there's a big Rube Goldberg machine going on where he pours mercury down, whatever. Franklin comes basically to the rescue, and he rescues Jimmy.
Because is he handcuffed to the table?
They handcuff. He handcuffs himself. They handcuff themselves to each other.
Okay.
In the struggle, he's trying to handcuff him, I think, to the boat so that it'll blow up, but he ends up handcuffing himself they handcuff themselves to each other. So there's this fight going on or whatever. But Franklin comes, he rescues Jimmy, and as they're running away, of course, the explosion happens with 8,000 windows
8,000 shattered
and
windows.
It's an epic explosion.
It is a big explosion.
And of course, Garrity dies in the explosion because he's stuck. He's in the boat. But then they go to find out that, like, while the whole struggle is happening, Lizzie and Kate are the next target. So he is rushing because she's playing at a 4th of July festival, and she's in an orchestra. She plays like violin or viola or cello or one of those classical instruments. So he's rushing to go find her, and they get there, and the concert's already over. She gets in her Jeep, and as the Jeep's driving away, he's trying to get to her. He steals a motorcycle, I think is what it is. He steals a motorcycle.
He's racing on it.
Yeah, and it's like he's racing, and he jumps. It's the classic 80s or 90s where
got a vehicle transfer,
got a vehicle
baby.
chase, you got a vehicle transfer. So he transfers to the other vehicle, and he's like, don't touch the brake because the brake is rigged. So he's trying to figure out what it is. He ends up diffusing the bomb. He opens a thing. He pulls like the duck toy that's spinning. He pulls that, and the car crashes. It spins another car out, and this is one thing that I've rewound multiple times. There is a scene, it's because it's a double take, where they'd have multiple camera angles. There's a wide shot where the car like slams into like a pylon, and there's an extra or stunt double there that almost gets basically pancaked between the car and the pylon. And in this scene, the stunt double has the wherewithal to basically jump and push off, and they show it twice. I must have rewound that part multiple times because it is just shocking the reflexes of the stunt guy to be able to jump and push off before he was basically pancaked and smashed. And of course, Officer Franklin comes and confronts Jimmy, calling him Liam, and then he indicates how he's going to tell the captain that he himself has found Garrity and that he disarmed the bomb, alluding to help keep Jimmy's past. And he says, I'll tell him, I tracked the terrorist, I defused the bomb.
It's cool how it's unspoken, but you get what it is.
I mean, I couldn't imagine being in a bomb squad situation like that.
No, I couldn't. Not in a bomb squad situation like that.
Hey, Steve, it's about time you showed up. The captain was getting worried, so he had to send in the Jibe robot.
The Jibe? He's like one of those crappy 80s robots. He can barely move. How's he supposed to help?
You don't send Jibe in for a job like this. He won't be any help at all. I'll have my radio on the whole time. What's the situation, Jibe?
There is an explosive device in the briefcase.
I don't need the play-by-play, Jibe. Just the location of the bomb's enough. You antiquated arms on a box.
Don't say that, Steve. Jibe is here to help.
Why do you guys still use this stupid thing?
I am right here. This hurts Jibe's circuit.
I know you're right here, Jibe.
Tell me I matter, Steve.
We got a real bomb situation here, Jibe. I don't have time for this.
I can help, Steve. It's what I was made for.
Go ahead and cut the black wire, Jibe.
I do not see a black wire, Steve. Perhaps you are confused.
Here it is, Jibe. Cut this wire.
Steve want Jibe to disarm Jibe? Jibe just wanted to be loved and disarm bombs for Steve.
Well, you asked for a wire and I provided you one.
If this what Steve wants, Jibe will cut wire.
It is.
I love you.
Let me get back to defusing this bomb. Oh wait, it's already defused. The bomb's defused?
Great job, Steve.
You did it again.
So, some of the things about this movie, at least for me, oh man, I remember all my friends during this time period were watching movies like Little Big League and Monkey Trouble and Little Giant and Camp Nowhere. And there's nothing wrong with any of those movies, especially if you grew up in that area and you're watching those movies. But I just remember, like, yeah, those movies were cool, and I love them. I still love them today. But this is, like, the time period when I, like, myself, because my dad was always watching movies, but this was a movie that I myself watched without his prompting. And I was watching movies like this, like Blown Away and Maverick and Stargate and The Specialist. So this movie, to me, was one of those first movies that I was like, man, this is a cool... And I remember trying to show my friends, like, you got to watch this movie. And all my friends are like... It's not funny. There's no shenanigans in it. And I'm like, whatever. This movie is great, and I just loved it. So.
I was watching both. I watched Little Big League and Blood.
I did too. But
I get what you're saying. It's like
too.
It's almost like it just was maybe too much. I don't know if say mature was the right thing, but like it didn't hold their interest. It wasn't.
Yes. Yep.
It didn't have enough low-hanging fruit in it.
Yes.
Maybe it's another way to put it.
And let's talk about our favorite characters.
For me, it's got to be Ryan Garrity. I'm a sucker for the bad accents in all the movies that I like. Like you mentioned, Cadillac Man. And phone is ringing weird.
It's ringing all weird. I love Jimmy. I love Garrity. And I just loved, after rewatching this again, I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times again since we started this show. And I loved Franklin in this. I love Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker's character is amazing too, and I appreciate it even more now. He's such a great actor. I had to go with Jeff Bridges for the actor though. Even though I picked Garrity for the character, I have to go with Jeff Bridges for the actor.
I picked Tommy Lee Jones because I thought he was a great bad guy in this movie, and I've watched him in a lot of other movies where he's always the main hero, and I just loved him being the bad guy in this movie. I thought he did a wonderful job. Even with the bad accent, I love a bad accent like you too. So
it makes it fun for me.
But I loved all the characters. I love Jeff Bridges, I love Tommy Lee Jones, and I love Forrest Whitaker. And now let's talk about some of these props.
We got our wonderful sign here for the movie. We have our VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now available on 4K as well.
4K
by Kino Lorber. And as you see, we decided we needed to suit up for...
Yep.
I thought I'd add a little element of pressure to Josh to this scenario.
Trying to get through this episode quickly.
He thinks that helmet's going to help. And, man, my hand is getting tired. I'm not going to lie about that.
Oh, my gosh.
So
it's like one of those
better
things.
wrap this up pretty soon.
Thank you so much for watching another episode of An Hour Feature Presentation. Please don't do it yet.
He's got to get a distance, he
I'm
thinks.
Josh Sanchez, and this is...
I'm Carey Williams.
We don't just love 80s and 90s movies.
We live them.